everybody, Morgan with the VinAnswer here, and today I want to show you how to put together this hula hoop balloon wreath. It makes a great photo op or a backdrop for any party or event. So follow along and I'll show you exactly how to make this. The first thing I'm going to do is prepare my hula hoop. This one's 34 inches across and I don't want it to be pink and yellow for this setup. So I'm going to use some white spray paint primer and then follow that up with some gold spray paint. To make this painting process easy though, I'm going to hang my hula hoop with a little bit of fishing line from the rafters in my garage. And this will make it so I can get the entire hula hoop in one go and I don't have to lay it flat and then paint it and flip it over and paint the other side. So I'm just going to go over the entire thing with a really light and even coat. And because I'm doing this for a baby shower, I've decided to go with a gold hula hoop because I think that'll accent my pink balloons really nicely. But you can paint this any color you'd like. If you'd like it to disappear, a black or a white might be good, or you can have the hula hoop be your accent color. Once I've got the final coat of gold on, I'm going to set this aside for a couple hours so it's nice and dry before I start really messing with it as I put balloons on it. For the balloon part of this wreath, I'm using about 85 of these 5-inch balloons in an assorted array of pinks and white, and then I have 4 to 5 of these white 11-inch balloons. And I'm just going to be inflating all of those with my hand pump today to make this a little bit easier. I'm going to start off by inflating my 5-inch balloons to various sizes. So for this one, I'm just going to put a couple pumps of air in it, and then I want to make sure my balloons are really round. So I'm going to press on both ends of it and kind of squish it so it's circular. I really don't want a pear-shaped balloon. So once I've rounded that up a bit, I'm going to tie it off and then make a pear for it. Now this one I put a couple pumps in, this one I'm going to put fewer pumps of air in, and that's going to give me a nice organic look to my wreath. So I want to make sure I've got a lot of different sizes. Once I have both of those balloons inflated, I'm going to tie them together in a pair. So I'm going to take both of the nozzles of each of the balloons and twist them together and tie them in a knot. And this is going to make my first pair. I'm then going to take another pair of balloons and push these together so that the nozzles touch, and then I'm going to twist one balloon from each pair together, and that's going to give me a quad. And I'm going to make up my entire wreath out of these quads. So I'm going to have a mix of some small balloons and some large balloons, but do make sure you've got at least 4 quads that are made up of all really small balloons. Now I've also made up a couple of just pairs that have the nozzles a little bit longer, and I'm going to use these to fill in any spots where I feel like I've got a gap in my wreath. So with all the balloons inflated, let's get started on making the wreath. Now my hula hoop has this seam here where the ends connect, and I want to make sure I hide that for sure. So I'm going to take my first quad, and this one has one of the 11-inch balloons in it, and I'm going to nestle that hula hoop between 2 balloons and then twist those balloons around each other, and that will lock the balloons around the hula hoop. So let me show you one more time with another quad. So I'm going to take that quad, put it underneath my hula hoop, and then twist the 2 balloons that are on either side of that hula hoop together, and that will lock it in place. I'm going to take my quads and really squish them together because I really love a tight garland. So I'm going to make sure these are really close together. And as I'm building up my wreath, I have 3 quads that have large balloons in them, and I want those to be at the very center of this section of the wreath. So you'll see that I'm putting those on first, and then as I go out from that center, I'm progressively using smaller and smaller balloons. And this will give the wreath a really beautiful arc to it. Once I've used about 2/3 of my balloons on this side of the wreath, I'm going to move over to the opposite side of the hula hoop. So from this side directly across, I'm going to rotate that around and start putting more quads on that side. Now there's only going to be about 1/3 of the balloons on this side, and that will give me a really nice asymmetrical look. So here's my only other balloon quad that has an 11-inch balloon in it, and I'm going to put it in the very center of this section. And then I'm just going to repeat with all of my quads, with the biggest ones in the center and moving out to smaller quads towards the ends. Now I do have in reservation my 4 tiniest quads and my pairs, and I'm going to wait to put those on until after I hang this so I can see where on the front side I really need those balloons. To hang my wreath, I'm going to pull off a couple feet of fishing line and nestle that fishing line between the balloons about 1/3 in on that large section. And I'm just going to pull the fishing line up and tie it directly to my copper pipe backdrop stand. Now I did this so that it could be a photo opportunity and people could get behind this, but you could always hang this from a wall using some command hooks or from a drop down ceiling with some binder clips. So once I've got the top secured, I'm going to come along the side of it with another piece of fishing line, and just like I did on the top, I'm going to nestle it between some of the balloons on this right hand side, and this is just to keep the ring from spinning. I don't want to pull this so tight that it actually pulls the ring off kilter. So once everything is secured, I can take a look at my balloon garland and see exactly where I need to add in a few more balloons. And here's one of my pairs, and I feel like this is a spot where I need another balloon in a white color. And I'm just going to take that pair and gently nestle it right up against the hula hoop and maybe twist some of the balloons together so it stays in place. Now here are my tiniest quads. These only have about 1 pump of air in them, and I'm just going to twist those around and nestle them right up to the end of all of my clusters. And that gives me that really nice crescent moon shape on my balloon wreath, and I love the finished look that this gives. At this point, I'll take a step back and look at my wreath and really assess if there's any balloons that need to be shifted or nestled closer together, and that way my colors are evenly distributed and there's no gaps in the ring. I hope you were inspired by today's project, and give this video a like. It lets me know that you've enjoyed this project, and I hope you give this a try, because honestly this is just the beginning. With different color combinations and paint choices, you could also add in some florals or greenery to spice this up. You could also personalize this by adding a name of either your child or the baby to be. If this is for a bridal shower, you could put bride or I do in the center. The possibilities are endless, and so I hope that this fundamental video gets you to that bouncing off point so that you can run with this project as well. If you'd like to see more projects like this, check out some of the videos over here. I do all kinds of balloon tutorials, party and event setups, as well as tips. So until the next time, remember to stay creative. See ya!